So before I begin, I want to share some really good news with you guys that we've been kind of expecting. I've been expecting this for years. eBay is exploring Bitcoin and crypto payments, says the CEO. And you're going to see this with Amazon, and everything else is going to accept Bitcoin and crypto payments for sure. And yeah, it's about time. You know, I think people are realizing, companies are realizing they need to do this. Okay. So before I begin with this, please like and subscribe, and please check us out on our CT Club. You get portfolio updates, my market updates, where I can help people kind of guide them through all this chaos. I'm pretty good at this stuff, and yeah, that's what I do pretty much almost on a daily basis. All right, so now Russia minister says we are working on a one world currency for trade. So what is a one world currency? It is essentially a CBDC, or central bank digital currency. So what this is it's the government's way of having full 100% control over your money, linked to your bioidentity. And so if you've been a bad person, social credit score, whatever, is not so high, they could essentially cut you off from the banking system. Dangerous stuff, but this is what's happening. Okay, another one. So Russia has been, getting sanctions placed on them. Well, Ukraine to issue legal demands on Bitcoin exchanges to freeze accounts of Russian citizens. So there is a big fight right now between payment systems, right? You know, like Russia and Ukraine, they're pretty much fighting each other on that as well. So it's almost like a currency war we're going on. So here's what Russia's rebuttal says. Russia may seize funds from foreign nationals and companies in response to sanctions. And this is from the ex-president. I'm not going to say the name because I'm going to butcher it. But yeah, really interesting stuff. And I expect this to be back and forth. And keep in mind that Germany, I think, relies 70% of Germany's natural gas comes from Russia. So, and then overall, Europe is about 40% on average that they rely on Russia for their gas. And hey, they could cut it off at any time if they wanted to, if the sanctions are bad enough. So really, it's essentially a chess game at this point. Okay. Talking about like real life craziness, like I really feel sorry for the Russian people as well, because think about it, the Russian ruble falls back to 106 per US dollar, a fall of 27% for the trading days so far. And over the last week, I think it was down the Russian ruble was down about 40%. I've got friends in Russia and Ukraine, and keep in mind, like my friends in Russia that are stuck there, man, they're suffering big time. Like their currency's getting demolished, and you know, some of them have Bitcoin, some of them don't, and it's horrible. Like this is not good for the citizens that never wanted this in the first place. You know what I mean? So, and also Russia, the rates of the overnight rates have jumped from 9.5 to 20%. So it could essentially mean a bank run. You know, Russia is in a big mess right now as well as Ukraine as well. So I'm going to go over a couple tweets. Bear with me and stick with me. Okay, so Rob Pearson is a really good analyst. He says, countries spend the reserves, dollars, euros, gold, etc., and buy up rubles to reduce the supply and prop up exchange rates, okay? But what happens when you burn through your reserves? You can't support exchange rate by buying up excess rubles, which is the currency of Russia. And the currency crashes. That's what we saw in Russia in 1998. And that's what precipitated a major economic meltdown. What happens if your reserves, if you have reserves, but you can't access most of them for currency interventions, or you're not allowed to exchange your dollars and euros for rubles? That's what sanctioning the Bank of Russia could do, and it would have the same effect, unchecked free fall, the currency essentially. So rubles could, in theory, become close to worthless with ordinary citizens conducting exchange in dollars. So this could essentially raise the dollars. So the dollar is at a critical point right now, and it could actually increase the value of the dollar short term, not long term, okay? So this would have to be on the black market, since it's technically illegal to pay for things with euros or dollars. Okay, and this just came in as well. This news: U.S., U.K., Europe, and Canada agreed to block major Russian banks from SWIFT. So what I see is that Russia is going to use their own version of SWIFT and to be able to transact trade. And I also think, in my opinion, that China is looking at this going, okay, we need to get our version of SWIFT up and running and smooth as possible, because if they're going to try to overtake Taiwan as well, they're going to get sanctions on them as well. So anyways, lastly, this is very sad, and this whole situation, it's not enjoyable. Nobody should be happy about what's happening, like whether on either side. Both citizens on either side are suffering, but I think that the more that this happens, the more people are going to rely on Bitcoin instead of their governments, okay? That's all I have today. I know this was a lot, but I'm trying to pick apart what is happening and give you kind of like a condensed analysis on this. All right, bye-bye.